One has to wonder what it takes or what motivates someone to run for political office. Usually candidates have a very compelling story, but the person I'm sitting with has perhaps one of the most compelling. Kimberly Fawcett-Smith served our country as a captain in the Air Force. Her backstory is tragic, triumphant, and I'm very happy to meet you, and thank you very much for your service.
Oh, thank you very much.
You are going to be the Conservative Party of Canada candidate in Scarborough Southwest.
Correct.
Let's go back a little bit. What motivated you to put your name down on a ballot after serving our country? You served tours in Afghanistan, you've seen combat, put on a uniform, and now you're ready to take on another type of public service. Why?
Basically because of my military experience. I'm a regular force officer with 22 years experience in leadership, and that leadership rolls itself into being able to make a decision under demanding circumstances. When I lost my leg, I had to quickly retrain my body and my mind. That led to international paratriathlon and becoming an internationally ranked triathlete, which took me all over the world. I got to visit different countries and meet different people, experience different cultures and different political regimes, all of which very interesting. In February of 2006, unfortunately, it was during a call out. I had to execute my family care plan, which is a military duty. And in the course of that, I lost my leg, but I also lost the life of my 9-month-old son, Kieran. And I just decided that in honor of his memory, I would just continue taking the steps forward that he never had a chance to take. And I use that as a motivator, honestly, to help keep me going and keep me positive. I remember the positives of his life, and I never look back. I never regret things in the past. I simply take the spirit of learning new things as a motivator to keep going forward, and that's what I've done.
And one of the things that, of the wake of that tragedy, and then you losing your leg, you did go on and served yet again in Afghanistan as the first female to serve in combat as an amputee, and which is another yet extraordinary achievement. But I want to talk about what the political aspect of that. You had to fight your own country. You had to fight Canada. You had to fight Veterans Affairs. You had to fight the Department of National Defence in order for the country you served to take care of you. What happened?
It's unfortunate that the circumstance fell as it did. You never want to take on, the government of the country that you love and that you've pledged your life towards. But that's basically what happened. I was told that I had to pay for the repairs and replacement of my own prosthetic legs as a serving member, and I said that was not acceptable. And so I was fighting policy, and then I was fighting opinions, and then I was fighting a bureaucracy. And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Gave me huge lessons learned. That's something that I can use now politically to help other people deal with government obstacles, and that's what sort of makes me strong.
What is it about the Trudeau government in particular, however? This is a government that you want to fight, and this is a government you want to defeat. What is it that they have not done, and how have they done on the Veterans Affairs issue?
Well, let me start by saying that the Conservative Party is the only party in Canada that has part of its mandate and policy is to support the Canadian Armed Forces with the resources and equipment that it needs in order to defend the country. And unfortunately, what we're seeing is that veterans are considered the portfolio of last resort. It's where everybody goes to die as opposed to a first priority. The Conservative government sees veterans as a priority. It is something that they have always believed in. and it's about time that the regime changed, because we need to take care of our own, and I'm extremely passionate about working with veterans.
We certainly remember when Justin Trudeau was at a town hall a few short months ago and was asked a question, and this is what he had to say with respect to veterans.
What I wasn't prepared for, Mr. Prime Minister, is Canada turning its back on me. So which veteran was it that you were talking about?
Why are we still fighting against certain veterans groups in court? Because they're asking for more than we are able to give right now.
There is another fight you're prepared to embark upon. This is going to be a very contentious, nasty election. Even though the Prime Minister says it's going to be sunny ways, and your leader, Andrew Scheer, they all talk about wanting to keep things positive. But it's already been negative. It's already, downright dirty. There are some campaign slogans that came out recently on all sides of the political spectrum. Your party leader, Andrew Scheer, he's taking a lot of heat, a lot of criticism for some socially conservative values and principles that he believed in. They haven't done, in my view, enough to perhaps fight back or push back on that. Why is it, do you think, that the narrative continues to resonate with some Canadians that your party is, going to take us back, put women back into the kitchen? Why is that still a narrative out there?
Not that I ever want to give the Liberals any credit, but they've just simply repeated the narrative over and over and over again. And there's not much that we can do with people who have a steadfast belief that conservatism equals discrimination. Well, here I sit as the walking, talking poster child of diversity. It's the last thing that the Conservative Party is about. It's about Big Ten. It's about inclusivity, and it's all about diversity.
Yeah, we are on the cusp of the writ being issued. Yes. Back to school soon. You are going to be taking on a big figure, no pun intended, in the Liberal Party. This is a star candidate that they recruited a few years ago in 2015, former chief of police in Toronto, very well known, Bill Blair.
Yes.
He has served in a number of different cabinet portfolios. It's debatable about how successful he has been or not. But that name recognition is tough to get through. How are you going to pierce through that?
Actually, I think I've already pierced through. People already know who I am. They know me as a community advocate. I think nationally people know me as a fighter, a fierce advocate for veterans, a fierce advocate for women, and particularly the disabled. So I'm not really afraid of that fight per se. I think the Liberals do a great job of shooting themselves in their own feet. So for me to mudsling just seemed kind of silly. If you stay positive and true to who you are and what the Conservative Party is about, then you can't be led down a rabbit hole and get buried into, the landslide.
Well, this will certainly be one of the ridings to watch. Scarborough Southwest. Kimberly Fawcett-Smith, thank you again for your service, and best of luck to you on the campaign trail. Log on to Facebook and Twitter. Let us know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.